Hello and welcome to another day of Parent Solution. Today again we have with us Ty Allen, my dear friend Ty Allan Jackson, who is literacy advocate and he believes that literacy is the foundation of success. And he is children books author, as you all know. So Ty is going to talk about myths about money management in children. So welcome, Ty. Over to you.
Thank you for having me again. Good to see you.
Yeah.
So I'd like to start the conversation, with something that I find really near and dear to my heart. And if I'm being really honest, it's something that I really discovered not that long ago. I one honestly don't consider myself a financial expert in any capacity. I'm a person who wrote a book because my child saw an opportunity to make money, and I saw that there were no tools to provide him with that with that knowledge on how to expand his learning about money. So I wrote these books titled Danny Dollar to teach kids about money. So I'm the first to admit that I have a very novice perspective on making money myself. But in that, I've also seen that there are a lot of myths and things that are probably not in best interest when we're promoting the importance of reading, especially to our children. And honestly, I think the biggest one that I really discovered is that a savings account is probably not the best vehicle for actually saving money, which sounds kind of counterintuitive. Like generally, you should put your money in a savings account if you want to if you want to save money. And by traditional sense, that sounds like it just makes sense. But if you really want to save money and make it grow, the best place to do that is in an investment account. It's not in a savings account. The percentage of interest that you receive in a savings account is so small, it's so minuscule that even after years of having your money in the bank, your level of interest that you accrue from that is really very small. On the other hand, if you put your money in a mutual fund, if you put it in an investment account, you have the opportunity for substantial growth. And so, one of the biggest myths that I learned in promoting literacy to my kids is that a, a, a savings account is a place where you store money, but not necessarily save it. I tell kids that they should have three accounts. Or adults for that matter. They should have a checking account. A checking account will give you access to your money when you need it. A savings account is a place where you store money, and after you store a certain amount of money, you should take that money and put it into an investment account. And that investment account is going to be the catalyst for wealth. Like if you ask anyone who is wealthy, they will tell you that they probably some of them don't even have a savings account. They have a checking account and they have an investment account. And so I think one of the biggest myths that I learned is that a savings account is a place to store money, not necessarily to save money. If you want to save money with the objective of making it grow, then your primary place should be to put it in an investment account. And one of the other myths, especially again speaking to kids, um, and this is another thing that us parents don't do very well, is that we don't do a great job of talking up to our kids. We are constantly talking them in a manner that we are talking to them on their level. We're simplifying our terms, we're simplifying our jargon, we're doing it in a way so that they understand what we're saying in a way for us to speak down to them. But if we also realize kids are sponges, they have not they are ready to absorb whatever it is that you give them. It is a lot easier to teach a child how to play piano at 5 than it is at 25. At 25, you've got this already established mindset. You have your patterns, you have your habits, but kids have yet to determine. They don't have habits yet. They're ready to accept the habits that we give them. So one, instilling the importance of how money is made. That it's money does not come from an ATM. Money comes from the work that we put into it, and that work is where we put the money and then into the bank or into the ATM. But the other thing is that giving kids the opportunity to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And that basically means to be more forward thinking and more critical thinking. And I think that that's more established at home than it is at school. So giving your kids the ability to realize that they are capable of making money right now. Like your 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kid can actually establish their own business right now. And that's why I wrote my book, Make Your Own Money, for kids to learn how that they have right now the opportunities to make their own money. And just that little shift, it gives them the critical thinking and the openness to think, how could I make my own money? Like what are the things that I could do that, like, if I'm really talented at swimming, maybe I could teach someone how to swim. Maybe if I play violin, maybe if I'm really smart at math, maybe if I'm really good at making bracelets or making lemonade, or like, when you give kids the opportunity to make their own money, you give them the opportunity to think about how they can make their own money. And that critical thinking is essential for their growth and development in their future. So the other myth that that is there is that kids are that we should not talk to kids on their level. We should have kids talk up to ours, and in doing so, and giving them permission and the opportunity to think critically, it just opens up tremendous doors and tremendous opportunities for them. And I think also teaching them to be accountable. Like like you're very often kids will place blame in other places. Like they failed their class because of their teacher, or they failed their class because of circumstances. And one of the things I learned when I first became an entrepreneur is to hold yourself accountable. And I mean to everything. Own your failures and own your victories. And that's the balance for me. It's not just like, when you did something wrong, own up to it. But when you did something right, own up to that too. Like, you should be able to place your hand up in victory when you win. And you should be able to objectively look at yourself and point the finger at yourself that I maybe I didn't do the best job I could when I lose. And I think all these things, especially if we're talking about money and accountability, these are all life lessons and life skills, and things that make us better. And I think, like, that's the foundation of growing up to be prosperous, forward-thinking, progressive adults. And so I think if we do those few things, I think we have a better opportunity to have children who are go out in the world and be the best versions of themselves.
Yeah, that was a huge share. Thank you for sharing all those things. And I am sure that this is going to benefit lots of parents about the myths about money, which we have already created with our stories. Like, it's not good. What's the appropriate of introducing money to them? So many things are there. And when you talk about accountability and teaching them about money to how to handle them and how to invest them and how to raise money for them, how to make money. So I invite all the parents to go and read Ty's very, very awesome book, Make Your Own Money, and make your children read that. That's really awesome. So I have put the Ty's website link in the description. Go reach out to him. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.